One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. All right. Thanks you guys for coming out to my public speaking 1608 informative speech. How many of us deal with stress on a day-to-day basis and feel like we're in a pit of quicksand? Yes, I know I do. Every day I deal with stress from work, stress from home, stress from school, and it's overwhelming. And it feels like I just want to throw in the towel and run off. Today I'm here to inform you about the effects that stress has on our bodies, meditation and the aspect of how it can help us deal with stress, and the benefit it has on reducing the side effects stress has imposed on our bodies. And exercise in the same aspect of how it can also help us deal with stress and the benefits it has on reducing the side effects we have imposed on our bodies as well. So before we understand how and why we need to deal with stress, we must first understand how stress affects our bodies. According to the article written by Bruce and Robert, Stress and Your Health is what it's called. Long-term effects of chronic stress, called allocystic load, cause a wear and tear on the body that takes place mentally, emotionally, and physically. This in turn causes us to be moody when we really usually wouldn't be. We also lose sight of the things that were once important to us, our families, our friends, our hobbies. Furthermore, stress affects us physically, and it takes a toll on our immune system and our cardiovascular system. Our immune system begins to weaken so that we are more likely to have colds and other infections. Our cardiovascular is affected as a great deal as well. According to the article Stress and Your Health, written by Bruce and Robert Spluski in 2006, stress can increase your blood pressure, your heart rate, your fat bloods, and this in turn can lead to stroke as well as diabetes. Lastly, long exposure to stress can cause us to be in an emotional state of mind. Our nervous system. Your nervous system is a network of nerves and cells and fibers that are transmitted nerve impulses throughout your body, and stress can severely alter this function. So moving forward from how stress affects our body, now let's look at some techniques that can help us manage our stress in a positive way. According to research done by Fabrio and David, talked about in their 2009 article called Natural Stress Relief for Meditation, Reducing Anxiety and Increasing Self-Actualization, meditation is a great mental technique. If practiced for 15 minutes twice a day, it can reduce stress and anxiety by a psychological state of deep rest. Regular practice in this technique appears that anxiety to develop qualities associated with self-actualization, such as inner peace, self-satisfaction, and creativity. Now, there are two types of these meditation. One is translucent meditation, or TM, and the other is a natural stress relief meditation, NSR. As shown from research done by Fabry and David Spector in the same article mentioned earlier, written in 2009, these forms of deep meditation, although only mental techniques, appear to generate a unique state of philosophy in which the mind displays increased alternates without an objective of perceived ideas, you would say. Moving forward from meditation, one final positive way to handle the daily stress in our lives is that I would like to present is exercise. Scientific research done by Paul M. Learn, Robert Woolfolk, and Winsky Syme in their book Principles and Practices of Self-Meditation in the 3rd edition It shows that exercise is a potent stress-relieving strategy as well as a health preventative measure to ward off symptoms associated with stress and emotional distress well before it is provoked. Exercise and other physical activity produce endorphins and chemicals in the brain that act as a natural painkiller to improve the ability to sleep, in turn reduces stress. According to Paul and Robert and Wesley Slime in the book Principles and Practices of the Stress Management 3rd edition, substantial improvements in mood and personality following an organized exercise program have in fact occurred because people found exercise enjoyable, challenging, and satisfying upon completion. After the studies, the scientists sat down with those same people and discussed subject matters that were presented to them 1 week prior with no exercise therapy, and found that after they had a brighter outlook on the subjects than before. Their moods became more uplifting and high-spirited as a result from exercise therapy. In closing today, we have learned that stress as part of our everyday life is something we cannot avoid, both physically and mentally. We have learned that effects that stress has on our body and mind, but we also learned 2 proven useful techniques, meditation and exercise, that we can use not only to prevent sickness, but future reactions to stressors that we have not encountered yet. So before we leave today, I would like to take one more moment of your time and hand out these sheets of knowledgeable information and short but effective stress busters. These sheets were created from Springhouse Corporation's own team of directors on July of 1994 and is still used today by both patients and staff. This is great for our day-to-day use when we might not have time to go for a jog in the park or have a little time to ourselves for meditation, and it presents you with just short second time busters or stress busters. So I'm going to hand these out to you guys. There you go. I encourage you to take those home, look at them. Maybe they'll be useful for you in your everyday life. You know, we can avoid stress. So do we have any questions or anything tonight before we conclude? Yes, Skylar.
You did great.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys have a good night.